Did you know what the path was after that? Like, did you have a sense of like what you wanted to do with your career?
No, we had, and it was the classic kind of overnight success where, by the time we'd shot the film with Guy Pearce, with this incredible Chris and Emma put this amazing cast together, and made the movie. And I thought, God, everyone, I'd been in LA for all of 6 months. I'd worked on the production. I wanted to get to know how production worked, and we got to the end of it, and I thought, why does everyone complain about Hollywood? This is easy. We showed up, we had a good idea for a movie, we made a good movie.
Yeah.
And then we tried to sell it because we had debt financed it with foreign pre-sales. So it was going to get released, and it was released ultimately in the UK first, and France, and all these other territories. The profit was supposed to come for our partners and financiers, supposed to come from the North American distribution rights, theatrical distribution. So we screened it for everyone all on the same day, March of 2000. I took Chris out for steak. Emma went to one screening. The Todd sisters went to another. Aaron Ryder, our producer, went to a third. And they called me on my old Nokia cell phone. Chris and I were waiting for the hosannas.
That's what Chris is still using, by the way, I think.
Chris officially doesn't have a cell phone, right? It was always me and Emma were the ones, the saps who had to carry the cell phone around. Whenever someone got word that you were close to Chris, your phone would start ringing with calls for him. The calls came in and no one wanted to buy it. Started with Harvey Weinstein and all the rest of the...
Is this like after Venice? This is after it's already screened? Or
before Venice.
Got it.
This is the first time we showed it really to anyone. We showed it to some family members and they thought it was cool, right? We screened it for all these movie theaters and we get completely blanked, right? No one wanted it. And the response from all of them was, oh, I thought it was great. Okay, well, how much do you want to, how much do you want to offer, right? We would have taken, at this point, not a lot of money. And the answer was, well, no, I get it, but the audience won't get it. And there was such contempt for the audience. This is really what motivated a lot of my career and a lot of the way I've approached my career. There's such contempt for the audience. That the audience was a bunch of fucking idiots, right? That they wouldn't get it. And I thought to myself, God, I've met some of these executives. Like, they're not. What makes you think you're that much smarter than the audience? Because you're not.
Right.
And we really felt from the beginning, and growing up together, watching all these weird movies together, and weird shows, that the audience was really, really smart, and really well versed. Or at least there'd be enough of the audience that was bored with what they were being served for a movie of a budget that small.
Yeah.
There might be enough people that you'd recoup your money on that, who wanted to watch something that was a little more lean in, that was a little more, pay attention. This is before the whole second screen experience, right? To your point, is Nokia, there's only so much entertainment you get from it. You go to a movie theater, you're watching the movie. It's too dark to read a book. You're watching the movie. And we thought there were enough people in the world who'd want to watch a movie that made them do a little work, that we'd be able to get by. But at first, in that first moment, we spent the next 6 months before Venice, from that moment till Venice. Part of what was going on in the background, I started writing a resume. I was like, oh shit, okay, well I guess this didn't work out. And I started trying to figure out, I made a promotional website for Memento because we didn't have enough money. I taught myself how to code in JavaScript and Flash. I'd taken part of that return to college was learning some coding, and so made that themselves. And I was getting by making promotional websites for other movies. And then we went to Venice. And that was the first time that we had shown, we did the festival circuit. What had happened in the background, as we were taking it to festivals, Steven Soderbergh somehow had watched a print of this thing and started going to parties and just ridiculing movie executives about, have you seen this movie that none of you wanted to fucking buy?
Right.
If we can't put this movie into the world, then we've failed as a business. I mean, Steven was an incredible evangelist on behalf of that film. And so we went to Venice. That was the first time we showed it to anyone who we weren't related to, other than the muckety mucks who'd passed on it, and had this extraordinary reaction to it, and kind of knew that it validated our impulse, Chris's instinct, our instinct from the beginning, that there was an audience out there who really wanted to watch things that were a little more lean in, a little more complicated.